Westwood Whirlwinds. This is Principal Daniel Burney here from Westwood Middle School. And that beautiful intro music you heard is the award-winning symphonic band under the direction of Mr. David Dixon. As always, Mrs. McLeod and I are excited to bring the Westwood Way podcast to you each and every week. Our podcast covers academic and athletic updates, upcoming events, and important dates and information.
All right, and this week I'd like to welcome several guests to our program. In our Student Spotlight section, we welcome Faith Braaten. She's a student athlete who is nominated by her basketball coach and our 6th grade science teacher, Miss Lee. We'll have the opportunity to speak with Faith in just a few minutes. In our What's Good at the Woods section, we welcome 2 special guests, our Community Partner of the Month, Fine Farkash and Parlapiano, and Mr. Falvey, who helped to orchestrate our very successful holiday food drive. But before we get to all of that, I'm turning it back over to Mr. Burney for important weekly announcements to kick off Principal's Corner.
Thank you, Mrs. McLeod. Hello once again, guys. Today's episode is basically going to be a double episode because we are covering events that will be coming up this week, as well as what to know about our first week back on January 6th, right after Christmas break. So make sure to listen so you don't miss anything. First of all, we are excited to announce that our food drive was a resounding success.
Woo!
Thanks to everyone who donated and helped in any way with our holiday food drive. We were aiming to exceed what we did last year, and we are excited to announce that the initiative filled 28 boxes for families in need.
Amazing.
In a few minutes, we will be talking with Mr. Falvey, our 6th grade history teacher, who was instrumental in the organization of the food drive. Next, we want to give a huge shout out to our award-winning robotics team. Westwood has hosted 2 robotics tournaments over the past 2 weekends, and several of our teams walked away with awards. Next, we want to give a huge shout out to our award-winning robotics team. Westwood has hosted 2 robotics tournaments over the past 2 weekends, and several of our teams walked away with awards. The following are awards won at the December 6th Metal Robotics Tournament. We want to give you a celebratory shout out to the following students who make up the team. 74801A, No Limits, Mateo Valverde, Mason Waldrop, and Santi Valverde, who won 2 awards. Tournament champions. This is awarded to the alliance that wins the tournament finals. This team demonstrated consistent performance, effective strategy, and strong driving skills throughout the event. They also won the Design Award, which is presented to the team that demonstrates an organized and thoughtful engineering design process. This includes a well-maintained engineering notebook, clear documentation of iterations, and the ability to explain design decisions and improvements.
I just have to say real quick, it's really amazing just the critical thinking and the thought process and all the things that robotics prepare our students to be able to do, and just the way that they have to have things organized to participate in these tournaments. It's just amazing.
Absolutely. And they work very hard. You know, I get here early in the morning every morning, and the only students who beat me to work are a lot of times a handful of robotic students who are waiting to get in the building to practice with Mrs. Singh even before school hours.
Right.
So they do a great job. We also want to recognize the students from team 7481D, not Roberto.
Their team names are so
not Roberto. Okay. Right. All right. So the members of that team are Anderson Ryan, Laura Lee Yax, Tegan Millard, and Caleb Strickland. They earned the Judges Award, which is given at the discretion of the judges to a team that displays special attributes deserving of recognition but does not fit neatly into other award categories. This may include perseverance, teamwork, enthusiasm, or positive contributions to the event. Then on December the 16th, Plastic Robotics Tournament, the following teams won these awards. So we have 7481X, No Limits, won several awards. This team is made up of the following students: Mateo Valverde and Santi Valverde. They won Teamwork Champion Award. This is awarded to the alliance that wins the Teamwork Challenge finals. This award recognizes teams that demonstrate strong collaboration, match strategy, and effective robot performance while working with multiple partners. They also won the Robot Skills Champion Award, which is presented to the teams with the highest combined score from autonomous coding skills and driver skills challenges. This award highlights excellence in robot design, programming, and driving consistency. Team 748 S1E7B, the ADHD gang. That's a very special name.
I love it.
They won the Judges Award, which is given at the discretion of the judges panel, for recognizing a team that exhibits outstanding qualities such as sportsmanship, perseverance, teamwork, or positive attitude that may not be captured by other awards. This team made up of the following students: Cameron Caruso, Alder Boyer, and Logan Watkins. The last but not least, Team 74801F, the GOATs. They walked away with the Build Award, which is presented to the team that demonstrates exceptional robot construction. This includes attention to detail, durability, mechanical efficiency, and the ability to explain how the robot was built and improved over time. The GOATs team is represented by Osama Ahmed. I'm sorry if I mispronounced this word, or mispronounced the name. Is it Elias? Elias. Help me with that last name.
Dusanbe.
Elias.
Ishmakovmatov.
I am putting I am putting Mrs. McLeod on the spot because
I'm fairly close, but probably not exactly on.
Ishmakovmatov. That was a good try. And the last one is Roy Richmond. Okay. So congratulations to our wonderful Westwood students. So if you are interested in robotics, the Westwood Robotics program is the place for you. We have the best robotics program in the county, led by this fearless leader by the name of Mr. David Sankey. I'm going to add in the county, in the state, nation, and remember, we are world competitors as well. So keep up the great robotics competition and robotics program. Continue to the upcoming events to be aware of. On Tuesday, December the 16th at 6:30 p.m., our winter band concert is being held at GHS. Our band students always put on a great performance, so don't miss it. Remember, Magna applications open on December the 2nd, and they close on January the 12th. So Magna applications are open right now, so please make sure you get those applications in no later than January the 12th. This is for all Magna programs and our wonderful Westwood Cambridge program right here at Westwood Middle School. You can find Magna applications on the district website or our Cambridge application in the Cambridge section of Westwood's website. You can also reach out to Mrs. McLeod with any questions. On Thursday, December the 18th, our ESOL program will be taking a field trip to see a Christmas Carol at the Hippodrome. Make sure you have your permission slips in and be on time to school because the buses leave promptly at 9 a.m. It's a wonderful field trip. When I was a teacher at Canal Park Middle School years ago, I used to take the whole 7th grade team to the Christmas Carol every December. It was a wonderful field trip. It was a lot of times the kids had never seen a real live performance. So it's a great educational experience, and it's like once in a lifetime. So looking forward to those our ESOL students having that same opportunity. Winter break starts on Friday, December the 19th, and runs through Monday, January the 5th. We hope everyone has a wonderful and restful break. And don't forget, Fast PM2 testing for both math and ELA are on January the 7th and 8th.
Yay.
So that this is the Wednesday and Thursday immediately after we return from the break. Come back rested and ready to lock in, guys, because that PM2 is right when we come back. Also on January the 8th, any 8th graders who are zoned for Buchholz, there will be an informational meeting at Buchholz High School at 6:30 p.m. in their auditorium. And now, after all those wonderful announcements, it's time to turn it back over to Mrs. McLeod and our special guest, Faith Braaten, for our student spotlight.
Thank you, Mr. Burney. I'm excited to welcome our nominated student, Faith Braaten, and she was nominated for our student spotlight by Coach Lee, who's not only our basketball coach, but she is one of our science teachers. She wrote this about Faith. Faith is one of the captains of the basketball team, and during the Middle School Holiday Classic the previous weekend, she showed her leadership qualities on the court by helping some of the newer players, and she also shows leadership qualities in the classroom by maintaining honor roll status. Faith is an 8th grade student and a 3rd year student athlete here at Westwood. Her consistency is not only displayed in her academics, but also in her play on the court by leading our team in blocks and one of the leaders in steals. Good job. While Faith is defensively aggressive on the court, she is a funny, quiet, and friendly person off the court. Thank you, Faith, for being such a vital part of Westwood girls basketball and displaying the Westwood way and being kind, respectful, responsible, and safe. Way to go, Faith. So how do you feel about all those things that Miss Lee shared with us about you?
I feel really good. That was really nice of her.
Okay, so tell me what she likes. So you're quiet off the court, but on the court, whole other aggressive personality. So why do you love basketball? Is that your sport of choice?
Well, my parents kind of like make me play a sport, but like I like to play, it's not horrible.
Well, you could play volleyball, basketball, soccer. So what makes you want to choose like basketball? Do you plan to continue doing basketball in high school?
I tried volleyball, I was not very good at it. And I don't know if I'm really going to play in high school because I don't think I'm like good enough to play in high school.
Okay.
Because like those teams are like really good.
Well, it sounds like you're not too bad yourself. So I know they have tryouts that they will be announcing sometime in the spring. I want to say that they do have basketball tryouts. And if we get that information, obviously we'll pass that along to our listeners and as well as Faith. So why do you really feel like basketball is the sport that you stuck with now for the past 3 years?
Well, like everyone in my family's like played basketball and like they really like basketball. And it's a fun sport and I love being able to like make new friends through the team and just like talk to new people that I would never talk to, like some of the 6th and 7th graders because like they're younger than me and stuff.
And you never see them anywhere else, so you have
Right.
an opportunity to get to know them, right? And that's what a lot of the programs that students do here, like whether it's sports, electives, plays, robotics, just ways that you get to connect with kids that you wouldn't see in class any other time. So that's really nice. So one of the things that Miss Lee mentioned is that you really are a leader on the court, not just in the way that you play, but in the way that you help some of those newer students. So why is that important to you to help and sort of shepherd the new kids as they join?
It's important to me because like I know I'm gonna be leaving next year and I want to like be able to teach the girls in like the way that I've been taught, so like they'll know what to do next year when like all of us 8th graders aren't here. And like I think it's important for them to like have a basic understanding of like basketball, I guess.
Okay. And then, so, one of the things that she mentioned here is, student athlete. So when Miss Lee mentioned to us, hey, I'd like to nominate Faith, because she's a student athlete, those were the words that she used, she put that student first in front of athletes. So why is that important for you to also be a leader when it comes to academics and keep your grades up and stay on the honor list?
My parents are really big about grades, and like I understand why, because like grades play like a really big part in your future, and like they can like determine like where you go to school, where you get accepted to, and like I want to have a like wide variety of options for my future.
And then, so speaking about your future, there's high school coming up. So have you thought, and magnet program applications are open right now. So have you thought about magnet programs that you're interested in joining?
I don't know if I'm really gonna apply to anything. I might like try like entrepreneurship or finance at Buchholz, but I think that's where I'm going.
Okay, all right. So is that not a magnet program that you have to apply to be in?
You do have to apply for finance and entrepreneurship.
Okay, so don't forget the deadline is like January 12th. So if you're interested
Yeah.
at all, give that a shot to do that. And then I know we're thinking way, way off in the future, but when you think about college and where you might want to go after high school, any thoughts on that?
Not really. I really want to get like a full ride scholarship. So low-key, like whoever gives me one or wants to give me any scholarship, I'll probably go there.
So one thing that's of note, and I'm glad Faith brought up scholarships, because while Buchholz doesn't have IB or Cambridge program, I do believe that Buchholz does offer students the opportunity to do AP capstone, which means you get all those AP classes, plus you have to do AP seminar, and there's one other AP class that I'm drawing a blank on. But if you do that, it's sort of similar in the IB and the Cambridge diplomas, in that it gives you a benefit to be able to get bright futures. I want to say you still have to have the GPA, but it makes it so that you don't have to have the test scores. Yeah, because you already are taking all those AP courses. So that's a huge benefit, because not only could you get bright futures, but then whoever also gives you a scholarship, because you can stack all of those things.
Right.
So nice. So I really like how you're planning for the future and getting those foundations here in middle school. And sometimes kids are quick to kind of blow off middle school and go, oh, it's middle school, I don't have to worry about it till high school. But if you're not building those solid academic foundations now, when you get to high school, it's a lot harder to build them at that point, because you just haven't put in the practice like you do, both on and off the field, academically and sports wise. So just to kind of wrap things up, what advice would you give up and coming student athletes, students in general, just how to stay organized, stay on top of things to make sure that you've got that balanced approach to keeping track of what's going on at school and keeping on top of your sport?
I think like I would tell them to just remember that like while it's fun to play sports and stuff, like you need to remember like that your grades are really important, and just like remembering to turn in your schoolwork and like doing your homework is like such a benefit to like your grades. And like even if you do bad on test grades but you have like a really good classwork grade, then it can like balance and even out your grade.
Right. So how do you organize your time with making sure you're getting your work done and practice? How do you balance all those?
If I have like practice after school, then I would do like homework in the morning, or like whenever I find time, even after school.
So just make sure you're always prioritizing those grades and then fitting that in and around practice so that you've got a little bit of both going on.
Right.
Perfect. Okay. So we just want to again thank you so much for joining us and for being a student spotlight. And now back over to Mr. Burney for our What's Good at the Wood segment.
Thank you, Mrs. McLeod. We'd like to give a special thanks and a warm welcome to the show, our community partner of the month, Fine Farkash and Parlapiano. So I'm here with Mrs. Ewan Poirier from Fine Farkash and Parlapiano. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
So we're here to talk about the Hall Pass initiative, and this is an initiative that is near and dear to Westwood because it means funding for our students here. And Fine Farkash and Parlapiano has been a continued supporter at Westwood Middle School for many previous years, and most recently they gave a hefty donation to our school. Ms. Poirier, can you tell us a little bit more about the Hall Pass initiative and what you do to support public schools right here in Alachua County?
Sure. So in the past, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, we were getting individual requests from schools for, to sponsor separate things, and we would get it throughout the year. And finally, Gabrielle Jenkins, one of our employees that's been with us for about 20 years, got with me, and we decided that maybe we should present to the fines and say, hey, we should go bigger. We should cover all these people that come to us every year, but also go bigger than that. And so since then, the last 4 or 5 years, we've been fulfilling Amazon wish lists for teachers all over the county. We will give donations directly to the principals because they're the ones that know the needs the best for those schools. We'll try to support extracurricular activities for kids, so cheerleading and debate and theater. We've gone all the way across the board from very educational things to sports to, the arts. And we try to cover all of our bases as much as possible. We also give to some nonprofits here in town. And most recently, this year we were able to get in with Friendsgiving, and that was a huge thing for us. It really got us. This isn't just for the kindness of it. Obviously, that's the best part of it. But, we need the exposure too. We have big law firms coming in that, make it look like we're small potatoes, and we want to show that this is our community, that we love this community. These are our neighbors, and we want to take care of them. So Friendsgiving really gave us the opportunity to really be in front of people, and to the amount of collections that came from the community was overwhelming. And so it's really inspired us to do more of that this upcoming school year as well. But we're not finished this year. We still have some more events coming, and we're excited about it.
Well, that is awesome. But we are really appreciative of all of your support that, like I said, not just this year, even in years past. Ms. Jenkins always does a great job of making sure that Fine Farkash and Parlapiano does not forget about Westwood, and we are very grateful. We have a phenomenal cheerleading squad, obviously, with Ms. Fontella Moore leading all the young ladies, and Ms. Jenkins has always been a supportive parent. So we appreciate the support, and it's good to hear all the great things that you guys are doing in the community, that you really take ownership over that process. So I just wanted to personally say from Westwood Middle School, Thank you, and we wanted to feature you all on our weekly podcast because we want the community to know how much we have business partners here, right here in Gainesville, who are committed to supporting public education in general, but specific schools just like Westwood. And Farkash and Parlapiano is one of those great businesses. So once again, thank you so much for your time, Mrs. Poirier, and please never forget about the Westwood Whirlwinds.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. And now we'd like to take a few minutes to chat with the man of the hour, Mr. Falvey. Mr. Falvey, talk with us about the effort and the teamwork involved in the food drive and, most importantly, the success of it.
It was tremendous.
Oh, well, thank you for inviting me to the show, Mr. Bernie, Ms. McLeod. I got to say, first off, that this is what I love about Westwood. The community stepped up and really made this thing happen. It was a full school-wide effort. I'm talking students, adults, on campus, families chipped in, and we've almost doubled what we did last year. So I'm very happy about how it worked.
Wow, awesome. So tell me a little bit about what were the efforts that you think that kind of put us over the top this year. We always have, like you said, great community members in the school and outside the school that want to support. But tell us about who you involved, who you engaged as far as students and any help that you got.
And who came up with the idea with the pet drive as well? Because that was a unique added addition this year that we didn't do before.
Yeah, so these projects always start with the student government. So the senators met and we talked about how we thought, and I'm talking about this year and last year's senators. So this is year 2 that we've really pushed the winter food drive. And last year they said, you know what, rather than collect items, that we should allow each homeroom to get a box and fill the box. And that way it's more of a complete meal. They're thinking more directly about the families they're serving rather than just getting item counts in. And so I feel like, we didn't really announce awards as much this time. We focused on, what really motivates people, and that's our heart, really caring about our community.
That's right.
So that's why I think it was successful. We didn't really promise a whole. I mean, at the end, we did kind of gave a if they filled a box, we surprised them with I think it's going to be an ice cream or slushy thing. Mm-hmm. But that's not what motivated. That was at the very end. That's almost more of like an after effect surprise.
Yes, and I'm really thankful for that. I really appreciate you kind of doing that paradigm shift. I think it was brilliant and kind of get it focused on boxes. I think it goes along with what we were talking about earlier, instead of just focusing on individual students, but focus on like targeting families. And we do that a lot, even when we're talking about attendance and trying to reach out to not just individual students, but reach out to the entire families and let them know that, hey, we want to support you holistically. And to get those boxes and then to have them, do it by homeroom, I think it gave opportunity for them to put more ownership over it.
Right.
Yeah.
And really, put more heart into it, just like you said. So I remember last year, and you talk about the student government and the senators, and as soon as you start talking about senators, I think about when our former students give a big shout out to, I call him Mr. President, Mr. Owen Pointer over there. I think rocking it out over there at GHS now. But and we have other great students who are keeping that tradition going. The students in student government really take ownership over this process. When you talk about student agency, you create the opportunity for those students to be the leaders that we know that they have inside. So thank you for everything that you're doing. Not just this initiative, but everything you do at Westwood each and every day.
And I think that's really special that the students really were thinking again about not just random items or things that, like you said, to fill a box, but if we needed a box, what would the needs, what would be our needs? And our needs would be an entire meal, something to make a whole, fixings and things like that. And so the fact that the students really focused on that shows just the type of kids that we have here at Westwood, that it's, it's the service, but it's how can we serve the best. And so that was just amazing.
It was beautiful to see them doing kind of like the final boxing or building of the boxes, and students were talking about, providing variety of things because families are going to have different tastes, so not everyone's going to want something. So they were mixing up the items in the box to make sure that, everyone, was going to get something that they liked.
That's amazing. So who was the one who said we should do something for pets? Because like I said, we haven't done that before.
Yeah. So there was a student, I think his name is Kevin, in Miss Melizer's class who brought this up. And Miss Melizer, mentioned it to me. I brought it up to the senators. Everyone was just all on board for that. So yes, so we had our first ever pet food drive. So we don't leave out our furry friends.
Awesome.
And I got to say, I'm sorry.
Sure, go ahead.
One last thing, just to illustrate how when you do things from the heart, it just spreads. As we were going through the drive, the PTA stepped up and said, we'll cover all of the gift cards. So these boxes all contain a gift card, so families can get some fresh items too.
That's amazing. What a wonderful initiative, and that's just super. It just speaks to our community, our school community, our community, outside the school, if you will, the in-school community, about how committed that they have been to this food drive, and just being able to make sure that families were taken care of, and that we doubled basically, if not tripled, what we did last year.
Double at least. Yeah.
So I mean, obviously this was a hugely successful initiative. Tell us what's next on the horizon for student government this year at Westwood Middle School.
The next big thing when we get back from the break are going to be our homeroom representative elections. Okay. So we're excited about that. We made some election changes, some campaign changes and rules, and every year we try to improve that process and get more students involved, and so we're excited about that coming up.
Nice.
Sure. All right. Well, Mr. Falvey, as always, thank you for everything that you're doing, and keep up the great work, sir.
Thank you.
All right. So today's podcast has been full of fantastic information and special guests as usual. I know our listeners were able to find something special for them, guys. Each and every week, we're going to keep coming back with great things, what's going on at Westwood, and keep you informed. Westwood Whirlwinds, always remember that we are proud of you, we love you, and we come to work every single day for one particular reason, to watch you and support you in being successful.
Yes.
So until the next time, this is Mr. Bernie
and Miss McLeod
for the Westwood Way.